Hello and welcome to this Forex Preview at xm.com. I'm Maria Pachordiz, and joining me is investment analyst Cristina Parthenido. We'll be discussing the upcoming EU summit and the outlook for the euro. So Cristina, EU leaders will have a video conference call on Friday to discuss the European Commission's 7-year revised budget proposal of 1.1 trillion euros and the temporary 750 billion euro virus recovery plan. Do you think the summit could give the green light to the proposal this Friday, despite opposition from some member states?
Hello, Maria. Well, before the official announcement from the Commission, the Recovery Fund was first approved by the German and French leaders, which was a strong signal that the bloc could finally come together at this crucial health crisis period that may result in the worst recession since World War II. Actually, the German response was the one that surprised markets because previously it was quite difficult to persuade the German government to quit its balanced budget rule that forbids the creation of additional debt and creates surpluses instead. But now it seems that the German Chancellor is willing to contribute to that plan that aims to share the debt across the bloc and help the hardest hit economies, and surprisingly mainly through grants. Well, if you look at the numbers, the grants are not significant, accounting only for a small proportion of GDP per year for the next 4 years. But this is definitely an important step to reduce the fiscal divergence, which was harshly criticized over the past year. Probably this is also a great chance for Germany to create a good image of itself as it takes over the EU Council presidency in July. And I'm optimistic that we may have progress this week, but at the same time, I also have my doubts about whether an agreement could be secured this week. As you said, there are still some countries that are opposing the proposal, particularly the Netherlands, Sweden, Denmark, and Austria, or otherwise called the Four Frugals, are opposing the conditions under which these grants will be distributed. The Commission said that a comparison of pre-crisis indicators could be used, but these states believe that this measure is not reflecting the impact from the COVID-19, and the group of opposition is further growing as we move to other issues such as the size of the funding plan, the balance between the grants and loans, as well as the period of loan repayment that is expected to start after 2027 for 30 years. So I believe the debate could be too tense to reach a common ground this Friday, and more time may be needed to address the conflicts and finalize a detailed budget that also needs to take account the Brexit risks and get the approval from national parliaments. Nevertheless, I think the negotiations may not last too long, likely lead to a decision this summer, maybe in July, when the EU leaders are expected to have a face-to-face meeting, as the bloc needs the funds to be delivered on time to the ones in need.
Okay, turning now to the euro. The German Franco plan was the trigger for an almost 5% rally in the euro-USD market, which has almost recouped all its losses since the virus outbreak. Now, if the EU summit fails to deliver an approval this week, do you think the euro could face a sharp sell-off?
Well, that may depend on whether EU leaders will leave the summit satisfied or not. I mean, if a deal is not on the table by the end of the day, but the negotiations appear constructive enough to result to an agreement as soon as in July, I think traders may not easily abandon their euro buying exposures, probably bringing a sideways move in the currency. On the other hand, if the leaders leave their conference with more questions than answers, then a steep downside corrections could be possible, especially if we break below the 1.1230 support level in EURUSD.
Cristina, thanks so much. And thanks for joining us at xm.com.